Okay guys, welcome to Kraken Gaming. This is our first episode. We're going to just introduce this club like real quick and what we are up to and who these people are. So that's Jonathan right there. He's going to be playing Tau. He's our resident Tau player and slash Space Wolves. That's what he started with. Yeah. Greg, I don't even know what he plays. He plays everything.
I do not play everything. I have Custodes are my main, but I'll be playing Ultramarines in our slow grow and Harlequins for our team tournament.
Awesome. And I'm Jan, your host, and I play Space Wolves, and I'm going to start playing Imperial Knights very soon with a Space Wolf.
Space Wolfy Imperial Knights,
Space
right?
Wolf Imperial Knights. They're all going to be converted using the Shapeway. I forget the guy's name. The guy on Shapeways that does all those.
You can put him in like the comments below.
Yeah, comments below. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, please, the guy who makes it, shout at us.
Exactly.
It'll make us famous.
Absolutely. But the warp gate is.
Hi, I'm Zach. Apparently, I don't
This is
matter.
Zach. Yeah, this is Zach.
For the most part, I play NIDS.
Well, you sit on the end, so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's easy for us to do. You know, I beat these people regularly, almost every weekend. It's great. I play NIDS. However, I'm going to switch gears a little bit for both the slow grow and the tournament, and I'm going to make Marines work again. They worked when they were the only codex. I'm going to try and make them work now.
It's going to be like the ultimate Marine soup list. It'll have every chapter in it.
Hey.
What do you have? Blood Angels, Space Wolves, Dark Angels,
Salamanders, Raven Guard.
Do you have Grey Knights?
No, because I can't make them work for anything.
They just don't work.
No one's marching for McCrag in your army?
No, because first off, who wants to watch the poster boys do anything?
Because they're awesome.
Well, now with the new chapter approved, they do the D6, right?
They're saving the Imperium.
I mean, the full mortal wounds, they don't get minuses to their smites.
It doesn't matter.
Along with Thousand Suns.
Doesn't matter. I mean, you still get, 3 models on the board?
That's all you need to win.
Yeah.
They're a good player.
And we all know about the Land Raider with the Gate of Infinity tactic to unload all your special characters. It's like, cool. I get a bunch of Gene Stealers that surround that Land Raider.
And it only took 30 seconds for this to go off the tracks.
All right. So, back on track. The Warp Gate.
We had tracks.
We are a club that will focus on really nice tables, really nice armies. We're going to be doing painting tutorials. They're going to be called Deep Secrets. The whole Kraken theme. It's all about like Cthulhu, like ocean. The battle reports, they're going to be called Release the Kraken, and then the tactics and kind of like new updates and FAQs and all those talks, they're going to be called the Heart of the Kraken. And then we also run a yearly GT here in New York, in Westchester, that tries to bring people from New Jersey, Connecticut, the tri-state area in general, Pennsylvania, all to play 40K, AOS, Blood Bowl, and Q Team. And that happens on February 2nd and 3rd. It's a 2-day event. We're going to be coming out with a website that you can sign up on, register for what kind of mechanic, not mechanic, what do you call it? What game you want to play on?
System.
System, okay. And the tickets are $45, regular price, $40 for early birds. Then we're also going to be running a raffle. I mean, this thing is going to be amazing. It's going to be 2,000 point, fully painted Eldar list. Mm-hmm. It's a $45 raffle ticket for about a $2,000 army. So I don't see why people wouldn't sign up. I mean, it's not just for the people that are going to attend the tournament. It's for everyone. So if you go to our website,
which will be up shortly.
We're working on it right now. It's going to be really nice.
Probably up by the time the video.
Yeah, but it's
probably up.
So there's going to be a link to the website in the description below.
Yep.
Of course, description below. That's the first time I'm saying that.
It feels good.
Yeah, it feels good.
So legit.
So legit
right now.
It'll also be a link to bettertables.com.
Bettertables.com, of course. So Yeah, I mean, our buddy Constantine, who's going to be appearing on the channel eventually, he's doing he's our kind of graphic designer, web designer in residence, and I mean, this guy's doing a great job. Like, he's making like animated banners for each system, 40K AOS and so forth. So yeah, the website will be up shortly, so you can go ahead and register for that. So we're going to be doing a team tournament shortly. Who's in April? Who's that run by? Battle for
Battle for Salvation runs that team tournament. It's us, right? Just us, right?
No,
four of us. Who else is it?
Constantine.
Oh, Constantine's here as well. Okay.
So we're missing
Web design.
one.
Constantine.
We're missing one out of the 5.
Yeah.
But
That's called a passing grade.
I've never done a team tournament before, so pretty excited about the
Yeah, me
dynamic of
neither,
it.
yeah.
And
I have.
It's pretty interesting to build lists off of each other and like fill weaknesses, so you can ensure when you're going up against a list, you're filling all the gaps. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
For me, it's a brand new experience. It's not just worrying about your own army list and what your army list does on the table versus different opponents, but actually taking in consideration your fellow teammates and coming out with a strategy, an overall day strategy or event strategy is something brand new to me. So that's going to be fun.
Jan, why don't you tell us what list you're bringing to the tournament?
To the team tournament, I'm thinking of, well, initially I was doing Space Wolves, but I just play Space Wolves all the time, so I figured I'd try something new. And I was gonna do Imperial Knights. But because I am a Space Wolf fanatic with over 16,000 points of Space Wolf models that have not been painted, I'm gonna do Imperial Knights with a Space Wolf twist. So every single one of them is gonna be Wolfen-like. I'm getting custom-made shoulder pads, Space Wolf heads, and so forth. So visually, it's gonna look cool, I think.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I do. You know, it's like the rule of cool. You know,
Yeah.
if it doesn't look good, if it doesn't look good on the table, and you're not enjoying looking at your army,
If you're not living your
you
life
know.
by that rule, you're not doing the hobby correctly. So.
Yeah, exactly. So, but my list consists of 6 Armiger Warglaives with some of them have Meltas, some of them have the Heavy Stubber, and then they have the Thermal Spears, and then I'm running the Knight Preceptor, which gives them a really nice buff. Specifically for the Armiger Warglaives, and then I'm using the Forge World Knight Styrics. That thing is pretty cool. So that's kind of my list. We're gonna be doing a separate kind of video talking about the lists in depth, going over all the equipment.
Yeah, I wasn't
and
just checking my
strategy.
text. I was trying to find if I had the list on my phone.
But this is just a kind of like an overall discussion, just an intro.
Do you mean to send your list again?
yeah, exactly. Zach built my list, so
Yeah.
I'm not
So-
exactly the most tactical of generals here. But probably the army that is the best looking on the field. I could probably
Should we
I could
do
say.
Yeah. We all hate Greg a little bit,
Yeah.
to be honest.
First round, I had to play him last tournament. that wasn't fun for the
Well,
top.
Custodians and Tal probably
Yeah.
the best matchups.
Yeah.
It was Tau before chapter approved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jonathan, what are you bringing to the?
I'm
team
gonna
tournament?
play Tau. I'm gonna. What was that?
AC.
That's heat.
I'm probably just gonna go full battle suits out, crisis suits.
The Crisis Bomb is back.
Yeah, the crisis
Yeah.
bomb. I'm gonna figure it out as time comes. Probably a crap ton of fire warriors just there to screen everything, and then
Just bodies on the field.
just bodies on the field and bomb things from long range and run into their face.
Are you thinking about using the 8, John?
I'm possibly. We're talking about it beforehand. Maybe I gotta see how they run.
The rule cool is definitely there.
Yeah.
The rule cool is definitely there.
I think they're awesome.
Yeah.
Just the super
very
hateful
samurai
8 coming
shit.
down, as Greg says,
Oh, yes.
coming down on the field. The OG squad. So yeah, we'll see as time comes. What about you, Greg?
So I'll be running Harlequins for the team tournament. I've always wanted to do them. I only started in the hobby about a year ago. But my biggest passions in the hobby have been painting and The lore, I always find the lore really, really interesting. Gaming seems to kind of come second, and my win-loss record can probably speak to that. But so I am hoping with Harlequins to improve on that. I know they are a tactically difficult army to master, and you really have to know the ins and outs. My list is probably pretty similar to what any other mono... Zach actually made it, but it's pretty similar to any other mono Harlequin army you'd see on the table. Ton of bikes with haywire cannons, 4 troops, all in transports. The thing I'm most excited about, though, is this will be my first...
Popping Knights.
Poppy Knights, yeah. Just
Poppy
like
Knights.
Poppy Knights, like an angry pimple, so that'll be fun.
Life goals, right?
Yeah. But so what I'm actually really excited for is this will be the first army I've ever done that is of my own creation. So as far as the lore and the theme, my own paint scheme. So the Mask of the Weeping Rose is what it's called, and so you'll kind of see that develop over time and where I decided to go with that. So it's exciting.
Yeah, it's kind of my first time making the custom army too.
Yeah,
like
it's
the
cool,
the Imperial Knights, like Space Wolf Imperial Knights called the Iron Wolves.
Well, and like the
So-
team tournament kind of presented that opportunity where you're like, well, I'll just do something. I have to fill a gap, so I can't necessarily play my normal army, which is Custodes. And it was a fun chance to do something different and unique and new. So
Should be fun.
And Zach?
and
yeah.
Zach has the rest of the Marine chapters covered for all
Oh,
of us.
yes.
Yeah.
You guys all of them.
So,
Except Grey Knights.
well, they don't count.
They're not Marines?
I mean, they are.
I mean,
but,
the other Marines don't even really know about them.
yeah,
so,
and also they don't.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
No one likes the Grey Knights.
I like the Grey
Oh, what do you mean no one
No,
likes
I mean
the Grey
no
Knights?
Marines like the Grey Knights.
What do you mean reads? Like
Marines.
their lore?
Yeah, the lore.
Oh,
Well, they don't know about them, so I
they're
think
cool.
Well,
I think
they
they're
know
a
about
very
it.
cool
Oh,
chapter.
kind of.
They're not quite as cool as Custodians, but they're probably second tier.
To be fair, with the oily bodies of the Custodians,
I mean, yeah. How can you?
they awaken their master.
How can you
eventually.
not? Yeah,
With
the
a little-
that's what
leather
keeps the
straps
Emperor
and-
going is
yeah.
those oily bodies in and out.
Yeah. So anyway,
All right.
I wish to make Marines work because of a great player, Nick Donavati.
Alright.
At the BFS tournament of 2018, he ended up taking 4th overall with a pure Marines list. And I happened to be blown away by it because how does someone almost win this huge tournament with all these great players with a pure Marines list? And I looked over his list and I said, hey, this can work. I can do it better.
Oh, shit!
So Nick,
Oh.
if you're out
This is
there,
our first video, and you're
That was just
Yeah,
like
I'm
shots fired.
Dude,
Just
wait.
took the glove off and slapped via cyberspace.
Wow, that's
Yo,
massive statement. Let's see if you
Yeah,
can back
oof.
it up.
yo Nick,
Ooh.
Yo,
if
Nick,
you're out there watching, which to be honest, you should be.
I think I need some water. I'm a little parched.
Yeah.
Me and you at the
nervous
team
for you.
tournament.
I'm super
Let's do
nervous.
it. Anyway,
Shit.
Just got hot in here.
So he speaks for his own. He doesn't represent. He does not represent Kraken Gaming.
wait, I thought that's why I was on here. So anyway, the core of my list is going to be a battalion of salamanders with a smash captain with this mantle, the salamander's mantle, to make him toughness 5, so that way bolters can't kill him. A librarian with some nice powers, and 5, maybe 4 groups of scouts.
What does that mean, nice powers? What do
Probably
you think
Might
about?
of Heroes, Veil of Time, to buff up one of the captains, well, one of the Smash agents, because there are going to be multiple Smash agents in this.
Of course.
And Veil of Time just for helping with charges. All the scouts are going to be bolter scouts with a missile launcher and camo cloaks. That way, they're better Marines, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Chapter approved didn't change that, and they're still one of the best units in that book. Then next, we're going to have another battalion of Raven Guard, also for those CPs. The colors are cool. The rules are really, really good because that -1 to hit is just perfection. Probably some Devastators in there. Leave a Lieutenant by there. Have a Captain in there who will be the Warlord with the Relic. That way he can reroll charges, advance in charge, and can't be overwatched. And be a Smash Captain.
Nice.
And finally, there is going to be one of the few legal soup thins still. The Marine soup.
Okay.
Where it's going to be Dark Angels, Space Wolves, and Blood Angels. Mephiston, Bjorn, a Rune Priest,
I'm sure they would all get along wonderfully on the battlefield.
and the Dark Angel Librarian. You know, they're all watching the Librarian to make sure that he doesn't go traitor on them.
Because
just
everybody
certain-
knows like Dark
he's-
Angels are chaos.
Yeah.
He's
Yes, of
just
course.
searching for the fallen, basically. That's all.
Or
he
is he a fallen?
Is
Who
it?
knows?
Ooh.
Cypher's
But
around.
what-
The
Yeah, Cypher's around the corner.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I will say one of the interesting things about this project is that I play NIDS for the most part, and the way I made my NIDS is I took a bunch of paint, threw them on there, and said, "This looks cool. Let me replicate that." This is a
They're
project.
good. Your notes look good.
Thank you.
Like if you see them all
Yeah,
in
they're
the
very
field,
good.
yeah,
Very good
they're
first
very
one, too.
they're very insect-like, very kind of organic paint scheme. They're very nice. Yeah.
And to be honest, if you have a full army and you've slapped any paint on it, and you're not just playing with gray minis, you've
Yes.
done more than like 80% of. painters out
However,
there,
this
so.
is going to be a project where I do have to have certain guidelines for painting,
I think so.
and that would be a nice challenge for me.
Yep. Also realized that Zach's first army, and he just started playing kind of
Like
at
around the
end-
same time.
Yeah, around the
at
same
the
time.
very beginning of 8th edition,
Yes.
very end of 7th.
Zach and I went in opposite directions as far as
Yes.
what our
I kept
interests
winning.
lay.
He kept losing.
And he kept painting.
Yeah.
Really nice stuff. Well, talking about painting, we're going to be doing painting tutorials, and we're also thinking about doing commission painting. So check us out on our website on the painting section. We're going to showcase Greg's work, my work, anybody else's work from the club.
I don't paint good.
I don't paint good.
That was Jan's nice way of saying not the other two.
I'm gonna be honest. Like I will.
I just started. So
My
I don't want to upset anybody. All right? I mean,
I have no problem.
I gotta be honest. My two thin coats look like one fuzzy sweater.
also Brian Dewhurst, our resident Aussie kind of surfer Jesus looking guy.
Fantastic.
Surfer
He's
You will
he's
see
a
what we
really
mean by
good
that.
painter.
He's a really good painter he's one of those painters who's developed his own style too, which is
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
really cool to see. So.
Yes,
Yeah.
and also he's an amazing guy.
Yeah.
Oh, he's such
yeah.
a fun guy. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, what style would you say you paint like? Like, what's your thing? You know?
So I mean, I've been doing it for a year. I started with, so Blood Angels brought me into the hobby, and I did this candy coated red.
tasty.
Oh.
Yeah, they're very tasty.
My Nids beasted that.
Kind of put me on the map with the group as far as painting went. I would say it's still really developing. I still follow a lot of tutorials. I'm combining tutorials. I follow a lot of Patreon pages. I'm currently trying to get a lot better with the airbrush. I think I really like the look of an airbrush just because it's so clean no matter how far in you look at the mini. So I think my style will probably start skewing a little bit that way. I tend not to do a lot of damage stuff. I'm an Imperium player mostly, and I like my guys to think. I like to think that my guys are shining their armor before they go out to battle and not going out in crap armor. So my stuff tends to be clean. So I think that's why I'm gravitating towards the airbrush.
My style is more opposite of Greg's. I come from an art background of painting and sculpture and fine arts. So I do a lot of kind of like watercolor effects, and I do all sorts of like layering and transitions and all sorts of transparencies with inks.
Yours off. He'll send pictures to our group, and when he's finished something, and yours often has especially it's almost like a Monet or something where you if you zoom too close in on the mini, you have no idea what you're looking at, but when you pull out really far, it creates this really cool picture for the mini. So.
Yeah, like for example, I'd paint I would paint a Dark Angel, and I would do brown armor with like camo green and yellow and red, and get the color of the dark green effects using all sorts of khakis and different things. I wouldn't just paint like a dark green with a kind of like scorpion green highlight or edge highlight on it. You know, I kind of mix colors.
We're both pretty
I mean, you see it.
Yeah.
You see it on the website.
And I would say our styles, like, I definitely started out following the GW tutorials, which are great.
Of course,
but
yeah.
I think we've both developed unique styles outside of that. So
if you like what you see, shoot us over an email, a message saying that, hey guys, like we enjoy that style. Me
Yeah.
and Greg, Brian.
Also, be sure to hit the subscribe button.
Yes.
That's
That would
important.
help. Drop a like.
Where is it on this side, right?
oh man, YouTube,
Whatever side.
Yeah.
Either or.
YouTube
Yeah.
Pro over here. Hit that subscribe button.
Yeah.
Those shout outs.
And
Yeah, give us
also
a like, comment, let us know what you think.
the GoFundMe for a new table.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at this thing. We're poor. We're we're not really. We haven't really set our sights on it and focused like how we're gonna organize it. But we want to do a slow grow. It's gonna be 500 points a month, ending with 2,000 points. We're gonna do tactics talk for each month. How we're growing the army,
Yeah.
why we're doing it, what direction we're taking the army. Then we're gonna do like some battle reports to show you how it actually performs on the table, not just on paper. Because sometimes things look amazing on paper, then they go on the table and they have like an opponent to deal with, not just like some vanilla kind of idea. So the slow grow will actually change. So for example, you could take like a unit out because it doesn't work properly, add something in, so forth. So it's going to be 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 points. And not only that, but it's a great way for you guys that are just starting out to actually get an idea of how 40K thought process goes. Behind the tactics, behind the army composition, behind tabletop strategies, painting tutorials, things like that. So I think it's a fun thing for veteran players and people who are starting brand new to get an idea of how to grow an army from 0 to 2,000 points, which is kind of the standard kind of tournament lists,
Yeah.
and then you can take it from there, like my Space Wolves, I have 16,000 points, like I said before. Shamefully, they're not all painted. But I do have 2,000 points painted, which I play with. So we'll show you guys on the slow grow. So for slow grow, you're doing what? Tau?
I'm gonna do Tau.
Why'd you cheat? Why are you sticking with them?
You just
Because I do play Space Wolves. I do have 2,000 points of Space Wolves, but it's not my play style. I don't like to get in the face. I don't like to rack my brain too much, so I like to just sit back and
pew pew.
Yeah.
I shoot you and I shoot you.
You come to me if you want.
Yeah, you gotta come over here.
Yeah. Well, you saw how that worked out for you when you played my
We're not
Custodians.
gonna talk about that. We're not. Yeah.
Yeah, how's your gunboat diplomacy doing over there?
The Tau has nothing to say about that. So what about you?
So,
On to you, Greg.
On to you, Greg.
So like I said earlier, I actually came into 40K with the Blood Angels, and they still hold a very special place in my heart. Sanguinius is always right here.
They're pretty.
They're very beautiful. So,
precious hawk boy.
but I am going to be doing Ultramarines in this slow grow, and the reason is aesthetically I think is very cool, but I actually think they get a lot of unreasonable flack, specifically because GW has chosen them as the poster boys. I really got into them when I read Dark Imperium with Gilliman coming back, and just the thought process and how he felt about 40K, and I thought he was a much more sympathetic character and really logical and cares about the future of the Imperium, and I don't think he gets quite enough credit for that. So I will say the Ultramarines brought me in.
Does
from
he
a lore
care?
perspective.
Or
I
is
think
it-
he does. I think he really does, because I think he recognizes that his father was just using him and using all the Primarchs. They were a means to an end, but he still recognizes the dream that was the Imperium, and he hopes to reunite that. He's not sure if he can, but he hopes he can.
Would you say he believes in the lie and he refuses to follow the truth?
The lie that the Emperor is a god, or
No, the poster boy. I mean, not the poster boy. Like the what he was told by the Emperor about the dream of the Imperium, and then he was used, and so were the Primarchs. But he refuses
Yeah, I think he recognizes, and not to give any spoilers away for the Plague Wars, which is
Sure.
the sequel to Dark Imperium, also another very good book, and very interesting ending from Gilliman's perspective. But I do think he believes in that dream, and he wants to see that dream come to fruition. But I think at the same time, he is starting to recognize some of the lies that were propagated in order to make the Great Crusade a reality. So I think he's starting to recognize that, but he still believes mankind should be the ultimate dominant force in the galaxy, and they are the ones to do that, and the other races shouldn't have that power. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes. The other reason is I've also played, most of the armies I've played have been particularly close combat or elite. Now I do want to do a more Primaris focused army, but it's similar to a Tau army in the sense that a good Ultramarine army is going to be mostly a gun line, and that'll just be an interesting tactical endeavor for me to take, and I think that'll be interesting. Yourself?
I'm gonna do Space Wolves
Shocker.
because I wanna paint all the guys I have. I mean, it's a running joke in the community. It's like, oh, don't buy more minis till you paint what you have, right? I mean, but I kind of want to paint them. It's taken me like 6 years to figure out a color scheme for them. I've tried every gray in the book. I've tried baby blue, dark gray, Mechanica standard gray. I've tried dark blue hues. I've tried everything. I finally came up with a really nice kind of like standard kind of gray that I like to paint. I'm going to show it to you on the painting tutorials. But I like Space Wolves because honestly they're a little goofy. I mean, think of it, right? Like biologically enhanced superhumans riding wolves, and they got like wolf, like Pharisian wolves running around them, and they've got like werewolves in suits of armor that were stuck in some like multi-dimensional portal warp. I mean, they're a kind of fun thing, like Space Vikings. I mean, they're in your face tactically. They're extremely versatile. The army, you can make like shooting armies. You can make close combat armies. You can make armored core armies of tanks and Terminators and land raiders. They have the flying fridges, like the storm wolves, to keep them cool, I guess, as they fly around volcano planets, I mean, I love my Space Wolves. I think they're one of the most fun armies to play.
I thought was really cool about the Space Wolves, and the only other chapter I've seen that this applies to as well as the Ultramarines, is that they actually care about the planets that are in their charge.
They care
about the people,
yeah.
And I mean, I love my Blood Angels, but Dante did sacrifice half of the planet in order to, and wipe out like 40 planets in order to stop Leviathan, or try to stop them.
Excuse me, what about, the salamanders? The
Yes, I'm sorry.
point.
Yes, I forgot about
The
salamanders.
salamanders are the good guys.
Yes,
Like,
they are
no,
the good
they're
guys.
good.
Yeah. My
care.
apologies. But I do like it. I do. It's interesting. It's fun to play. I think is, other than the salamanders, about as close to a good guy in the universe that you can get. So.
And Space Wolves are known for being kind of savages, like really warlike, really furious, charges, brutal. But people don't understand that behind all that there is cunning. There is some sort of pack mentality. They don't do things haphazardly amongst themselves. They organize, they ambush, they create ambushes. If you read the laws, there's a lot of really amazing stories of trials and hardships that they have to go through. It's very kind of epic kind of narrative behind who they are. And I'm just really into their aesthetics. There's a lot of opportunity hobby-wise with the Space Wolves. They have furs. They have all sorts of like amazing ways you can kind of battle damage their miniatures, their armor, they have gold filigree. They have all sorts of intertwined kind of like Celtic motifs. They have axes, guns. They're cool armies. So that's why I'm going to go Space Wolves.
Unfortunately, they're no space vampire, but they are cool. Yeah.
And we should
Sure.
acknowledge.
They're
it,
not
of course.
as good as the Blood Angels, but they're cool.
We should acknowledge, of course. Eventually, we'll have
We're not going to get into it on camera. Like, we're going to have a talk afterwards.
Oh.
Alright.
But there will be a new unit for the Space Wolves that come out eventually. That will just be called the Wolf.
The
And
Wolf
that will
Wolf.
just
Wolf.
encompass everything.
It'll be a wolf riding a wolf at that point.
Well, speaking of new units, I mean, yes, we're going to get to you. Don't worry. You are on the end. Yes. But what about all these kind of like Primaris chapters that are derivative of all of the current codexes of Marines? Like, you have the...
So a really cool chapter
The Howlers
is
or-
the Dusk Howlers.
Dusk Howlers.
If I think that's what they're called. They are one of the few successor chapters of Space Marines. So they don't have Space Wolves.
Space Wolves have...
They don't have very many, right?
They might have one or two, but they're very ambiguous. Nobody really talks about them.
But so if you're interested in Space Wolves but want to go a different direction and you like Primaris, the Dusk Howlers, look them up. There's not a ton of artwork out there about them, but they are very cool. They take a lot of the Space Wolf motifs. They down them a little bit. They're a little more grounded in reality. Except for the fact that I think their captains ride polar bears. That probably is not quite as grounded in reality.
Polar bear riders.
But they're very cool
cyber
chapter.
polar
And I-
bear.
GW, please make some models for that.
Yes, please,
cyber
yeah.
polar
We
bears.
cannot find any good models. We
Yeah.
found one example
We found
from Scribor or Scribor.
which is it's a little fatty.
It's the best.
Yeah.
It's the best we found, but it still looks like a little badger.
Yeah.
Like some
Yeah.
sort of little
Yeah.
feet, stubby.
Yeah, I think the Primaris would be bigger than him, which you got it too.
Yeah.
But I know there's a lot.
GW, please make some polar bear models.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of
Nice.
Primaris hate out there, which I don't really have because I just came in at 8th, so.
For you, it's on you.
I really don't care about the Tactical Marines. I have no special relation to them. But I think we're going to see a lot of cool stuff happen with Primaris in the future.
Yeah. Okay, so back to you about the slow grow, Zach.
Hi. So yes, I'm probably for the slow grow. I'm still going to stick with the Marines. I'm not going to make such a tuned list as the tournament list because that would just be wrong for a slow grow, I would feel.
Well, it's all about fun and narrative,
Yeah.
and
Because
kind of
this-
like experimenting with all sorts of different
Finding
builds.
things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
supposed to be I'm going to win at any cost, which is something that happens a lot at tournaments. And guess what? You signed up and paid for experience where you're probably going to get your ass kicked and you're going to learn from it.
Yeah, and if you're going to a tournament, you should know that you're going to play. There should be no problem playing against
Yeah.
people who only want to win. That's what
Yeah.
you're there for.
That's what the tournament is.
Yeah.
I've had games that lasted 30 minutes because I just knew I was going to lose as soon as the first die got rolled because I got outplayed before it even started. But anyway, I will probably be doing Space Marines again. Also, just have that cross compatibility. Oh my god!
Compatibility.
Compatibility. Oh my god. Anyway,
English.
I got you, Mr. Teacher. No worries.
Language.
social studies. Not
Ah, okay.
Anyway, however, I will include in this slow grow White Scars.
Oh, very
They
nice.
are my babies. I love them so. Some of the best Horus Heresy books. Fight me on this. And Khan will return at some point.
You need one of those little tables. It's like prove me wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Khan will return. He will come out of Cormaga. Why can't I say Cormaga instead of compatibility? Anyway, he will come out of Cormaga with an Eldar Raider as a trophy with a bunch of heads filling it and come back and be like, guys,
A couple of Dark Elder.
yeah.
Well, if he comes swinging out with Sanguinius until I'll be pretty happy with that then too.
Oh my, Sanguinius died!
What
Get
are you
over
talking
it!
about?
So
What are you talking
Sanguinius
about?
can
Lima
absolutely-
Russ is going to come out of the war.
Yes, you know, I'm
holding
fine.
Korn's head. All right.
You know what? I'll be fine if Russ and Khan come out riding, like, I don't know, captured bloodletters or something like that turned into bikes.
So fight me on it. Sanguinius' essence definitely exists in the war and could be manifested in reality. I fully believe that. I don't think it would be Sanguinius, but I think a portion of his essence could be manifested.
The precious Hawk Boy will
The beautiful,
maybe exist in some way. Hey,
beautiful
Sanguinori.
gold
You
rock.
already have the Sanguinori.
I really think it would be amazing if GW does what they did for Morathi for AOS, and
For
they,
Russ, right?
for Russ.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
god.
and you have the little Russ, and then
Well,
the
hold on,
more he
let's-
kills
It'd be
the
a big Russ, let's be honest.
No,
And
no,
then it turns
no.
to a bigger
no, that's
Russ.
what I'm
Okay.
saying. It starts. Well, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
He's gonna be mounted on like what, like a 50 millimeter or something,
Yeah.
or bigger, like a dreadnought kind of base. And then the more he kills, the frenzier he gets. I think he turns into this massive Mortarian-sized like werewolf or something, like, or I don't know. I think it could be a very cool game mechanic.
Sanguinius could turn into a giant bat. It'd be cool
Bad.
because he's a vampire.
Yeah.
They didn't have like angel wings. Or, I mean,
Yeah.
Giant bat.
You know what?
we have those in AOS. and they're not that good.
GW, just bring Khan back, and I will never stray from you ever. Bring back Khan, and I will buy that model, and I will love it. I will paint it, and well, it will stare in my room. It will stare at me as I sleep.
This video is going in some very.
And on that note, that's the conclusion of our video.
So stay tuned.
Colin's gonna stare at this guy sleeping.
Oh, God.
Obviously,
All right.
we will refine and fix and give us comments on how we can do better and what you guys
Yep.
like to see.
If you want to see anything specifically, if you want us to talk about a specific codex or explore rules or tactics or different color schemes of painting, or
Yeah.
you wanna know how to paint blue or how to paint cloaks or battle damage or anything, just leave a comment below and we'll take it in consideration. We'll pick a comment for next month's video, and we'll I think that's going to be a standard format, right? We're gonna pick a comment from one of our subscribers, and
We're gonna do it.
yeah,
We're gonna do whatever
talk
you guys
about
ask.
it. Yeah,
It's like gonna lead to some
just
dangerous
nothing-
areas, but all right.
Yeah, just nothing weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
play 40K, so we obviously have a lot
hobby
of
related.
Hobby related.
Hobby related.
I ain't going down that road again.
Yeah, all right.
None of us play Emperor Children's yet, so
We're not gonna talk
none
about
of us
that.
are
Do tell.
none of us are slash worshippers yet. So
Slanesh
Yeah.
worshippers.
Oh,
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. That's it for us today. I want to thank some of our sponsors and some of the people that are going to help us out with the warp gate and also the beautiful objects and terrain that you're going to be seeing on the channel. Big shout out to the Rift in Peekskill, Gamers Gauntlet in Mamaroneck, and the War Game Terrain Foundry in Poland. They're actually working really hard on 4 sets of tables that actually could be split up into 2 tables per a terrain piece.
Wow.
So I think we're going to be able to squeeze out 8 tables out of these guys. Like their terrain is just out of control. So thank you to you guys, and thanks for watching. This is Kraken Gaming. Crack on the hobby.
Crack on.
Crack on. Keep on cracking.